Now, after adding a little bit more graphics to it, maybe some sort of you made it and a little information about it, and you've got your photo there for it, and I've got my button for the restart. We do need to go ahead and give this button a name, an instance name, so let's call it restart underscore btn. We'll be using that here in a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and convert this to an animation just like we did with the other one. So it's pretty easy. Let's select everything on that layer. And here's a really easy way to do it. If you click on the keyframe, it will select everything that's a layer of that keyframe or a part of that keyframe. Now I can click back on that any object that's currently selected, and it makes sure that I have everything selected. And you can see my properties, it shows that I have a mixed selection, so everything's there. I'm going to right click and choose convert to symbol, and this is going to be the end background. And then I'm going to right click on it again, choose convert to symbol, and this will be the end animation. Now we'll double click on it, and you'll see inside this animation, the end animation, we've got the frame for our our animation here. And we're going to do it just like the other ones. I'm going to right click and maybe we'll go to frame 20. Right click, choose insert frame, then right click on it, choose create motion tween. We can right click either on the object or on the timeline. Create a motion tween, and I'm going to click on the object, go to color effect, alpha, and I can make it 100% at the end, go back to the beginning, change it back to 0. We can do it as long as we have it set to 0 at the beginning and 100% set at the end for alpha. We'll get the exact look that we want, and then we need to create a new frame or a new layer. So create a new layer, create a keyframe at the end, right click and choose insert keyframe, then click on that frame just to make sure, go to actions frame and choose stop. That way it will stop on that particular frame. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go back to the start animation here, the beginning button, double click on it until I get to the code for the button, so I can see that I have my properties for the button here. And you'll notice that if I look at that keyframe, it has a little A there. So click on that, go to actions frame, and copy this code. This will give me a really good start on the code that I need in the next section. We'll go back to scene 1, navigate to the very end of your timeline where the new animation is, double click on it. We'll go back to the end when we can see things, double click on it again to go inside of it until you can click on the button itself, and you can see that we have a button with the properties here. And we are now going to add a action to this particular frame. So notice that actions does not have anything yet, and it's because we currently have the button selected. So we need to click on the frame so that it says actions frame. And now we're going to paste that text, Control V, or right click and choose paste. And we're going to change some things. So this is going to be restart movie is our function. We're going to use restart as our button. And that means that restart needs to be the name of the function that our button calls. And then what we're going to change here is instead of movie clip root.play, we're going to choose go to and play. And this particular one goes to a frame and plays it. So we're going to tell it to go all the way back to frame 1 of the root timeline. Now we can test our movie. So we have let's get moving. I choose start. I get to the end. The restart happens. I click on restart and it goes back to the very beginning. We have now successfully completed all the major parts of this particular animation. All we have to do now is add just a little bit of sound and we're done. So save your work and let's go on for the last tutorial.